Ciao tutti, hi, hey all, it's your boy M.K.S here back with another video. I'm just going to check I'm live on Facebook as well, same time. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I'm now live on Facebook and YouTube, and for those who might be new or whatever, or might forget, I record on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, just in case I have a problem with one app or whatever you call it. I will hopefully have a recording on the other, but I was stuck in two minds today as to whether to make a video or take a bit of a break and that kind of thing. I do get conscious, like if people get too many notifications, and also I was wondering, like I do fear whether I'm going to repeat myself, or sometimes I lack that confidence, self-esteem, or whatever, positivity, or whatever to do so. But I thought I'd make this, and I thought sticking on the theme of, as I talked about Milan yesterday, I thought I'd talk about Torino, and I've talked about them in the past, but I was stuck in several minds. I thought about talking about Torino. I was thinking about talking about the company Tata or Toyota, uh, sticking to the theme of Asia and that kind of thing. But anyway, I thought I'd talk about Torino today. So here goes. So here's some of my ideas for Torino, and I thought I'd do it in this form as usual. So from 1 to 10. And then I want to watch a documentary about ADHD, and then I want to go to for a little bit of a walk, nice life story, and then possibly have a shower. So yeah, here goes. So number one, as I say, I was thinking about lots of different ideas. I was thinking about talking about Tata or Toyota, and I'd love for them to invest uh, in as well as Tesla. Um, I know I talked about that a while back, but my maybe my mad or neurodivergent ideas or whatever. But I was yeah, I was thinking of, as I say, of talking about Tata and my dreams for them, and thinking about a list for that. Maybe I should have stuck with that, but I thought because I talked about Milan yesterday, I'd stick to that theme of talking about footy, Italian footy, even though that wasn't my initial plan in April. For whatever reason, I decided to do that. I'm a mad fan of Italian football generally, hence why I've got an AC Milan cap. I'd love for my fellow Anglo-Indians, which I hope to come to go to, as well as other Eurasians. I know I talked about it a few times, but people with ADHD or autism related conditions, and so neurodivergent conditions, if you like, and focus on the ones that begin with A, the A's, if you like, because it's April, and others with things in common with me to go to to play football in Italy, including with Torino. And I'll say so. Point number two. Point number two. Uh, so Tesla, Toyota, Tata, and companies like that, I would love for them to have their own partnership with Torino, including like having their own academies and sports clubs in America, and especially I think about Asia, especially in India and Japan. But I know I talked about in the title and the description about wanting to promote. I said need to, but needing to, or at least wanting to promote Torino and Italian football teams generally all around the world. As a mad fan of Italian football more generally. Number three, as I say, Tesla, Toyota, and Tata to invest in Torino and like have partnerships. I'd love for them to do that with Celtic and Torino. So going my use of alliterations in Torino's case. So to have, say, academies, sports clubs. In Celtic's case, it would be CSCs, and whatever partnerships they can come up with. I hope that would benefit Tesla and especially Toyota, and in particular Tata, probably the most, or probably mutually, but especially the Asian companies, and also um, the club Torino, and I love for Celtic to benefit as well. So hopefully they'll get loads of funding. I'd love for, if I'm really dreaming, I'd love for companies to invest 1% or even up to 10% of their revenue perhaps into Italian clubs like Torino. In this case, ones that begin with T because of my use of alliterations. Number four, I hope that Torino can, like Italian teams generally, I'd love to see them compete in Europe and win more, and have as many football academies and sports clubs and whatever can benefit their club all around the world. Number five, I hope I can put my ideas into action. I was thinking Tata and similar for Toyota and maybe even Tesla, but especially Tata and Toyota. I'd love for them to um, I say I'd love for them to benefit. And I was thinking with Tata, they could have. I was thinking Kaka, a former footballer, Kaka. I don't think that's his real name, but he's known as Ricardo Kaka, and people call him Kaka for short, just like Messi and Ronaldo or whatever. And I read that Messi is um, a brand advocate for Tata, but I don't know if that's true or not. But I thought it would be quite fitting if Kaka was um, a brand ambassador, although I'd love for him to work with Milan more, but I'd love for him to be a brand ambassador for Tata, talking about Tata, who at one point I was thinking about talking about instead of Torino. For today, maybe I'll talk about them in May or whatever, or ASAP, May or June or whatever, but with my plans for the rest of the month, but with having plans for the rest of the month, but also I was thinking, what if Tata helped with, I might come to this point a few times, but especially in point number 29, giving away a lot there, but to fund Anglo-Indian and other Eurasian football clubs and get Eurasians and Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians into footy. I wonder how much Tata works on AI and apps and things like that. But moving on, number 6, I hope that would maybe benefit football in India and Japan or even America, but especially in Italy, most of all. But again, I hope Tata and Toyota make a lot of money as well through branding and advertising and that kind of thing. As I love to support Asian companies. Again, at one point, I was thinking about talking about Tata and Toyota. I've talked about them in the past, and I have to do so ASAP, given my useful iterations on Tuesdays and or Thursdays. Whenever the chance arises. Number 7, as I say, I'd also love for Italian teams like Torino to have partnerships with Celtic. Number 8, I'd love for Tata to be promoted. Torino to be promoted, and Tata, I guess. Tata, Toyota, and Torino, and Tesla, I guess, to be promoted all around the world. I hope they have a mutual benefit. And number 9, as I say, I'd love for my fellow Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians to support, and people with things in common with me, if I can encourage as many of them as possible to support and follow Torino and Tata to perhaps fund, as I Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians and people with mental health problems even perhaps, and autistic, ADHD and other atypical or neurodivergent or whatever term you want to use people to get into football and even get into like coaching and things like that. And number 10, I hope to support youth development for Torino. And again, maybe they could have players in academies from India and across Asia, and Africa and around the world, Latin America, the Americas and that kind of thing. And on that note, I'm out and peace and love.